to never get old, never be rude, never show off, never be selfish, never fall down, never fail, never show fear, never get out of line. I'm just so tired of watching myself and every single other woman tie herself into knots so that people will like us. Well, tell you that
yes, it does.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
So women are dealing with a lot, and we can't complain about it. We have to apologize if we feel like we are struggling with it. We feel like there's some kind of hierarchy of pain where we feel like, yeah, maybe I'm feeling sad, or I'm feeling anxious, or I'm not sleeping well, or I'm having trouble in my relationship, but I have a roof over my head and food on the table, so it's not that bad.
Right.
Hey guys, hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. So yesterday I was scrolling, came across the Oprah podcast, and they were discussing women feeling overwhelmed. This topic can resonate to many of us. I know it does for me. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit. So she was interviewing an Arthur Gottlieb is her name. She has a book that's called Maybe I Should Speak to Someone or something like that. I'll leave it down below. I definitely want to get the book and read it. But she brought up the topic of women, or society has certain expectations for women that are just never ending. And also there was an area where America Ferrera was talking about it in the Barbie movie or whatever. I'll leave it in the beginning of the video so you guys can see it. But she was talking about how women it's just never ending. You're dealing with so much every single day, and you're put up in this knots that it's overwhelming. And it really, the interview resonated with me. So one of the shocking things was when this lady said she's a psychotherapist, and one of the ladies came to therapy and apologized to her. Oh, I'm sorry that I'm burdening you with my problems. And it was like, literally like, I'm a therapist. That's what I'm supposed to do. You're supposed to come to me and talk to me, and we try to find resources and ways to help you out. And why are you apologizing? Because, for her, that was the lowest. For her to go there and say, to get a therapist, it's like things were really falling apart. So we ourselves as women put a lot on ourselves. Some people say, we want to be superheroes in some ways. We want to be everywhere. We want to be everything to everyone. Sometimes we do it to the point where we forget about ourselves. It's like, it's bad, because growing up, you definitely had that. Like, you were trained in a way, you got to learn how to cook. You got to learn how to clean, because one day you're going to get married to someone. When you start aging, society's telling you need to do this and you need to do that to look younger. You need to look good doing all these other things. Your life could be falling apart, but we want to see you put together, smiling, your lipstick on, your best whatever out there. You are feeling guilty for asking for help. You are walking around, feeling like how they say the chicken with your head cut off, because you are doing you're multitasking constantly. You've seen moms in the boardroom who are, going to the bathrooms and pumping and breast milk for their kids. And, when you are like, something goes wrong, everybody's calling you, everybody needs you. Somebody was joking about how they're Google. Everybody in the house calls them. Like, what do I do with this? What do I do with that? And there's just women that have just really gone through it to the point where their mental health, physical health just went downhill. And I think it's just important that we realize that we have to center ourselves. We have to put ourselves as priority. We have to do things that bring us joy. We have to find ways to take care of our health. We have to find things that we do that are outside of our titles of mom or sister or, all these other things. Because what ends up happening is when you do that and you put that time for that, it actually makes you a better person, and you're able to not be resentful, and you're walking around really, really refreshed and ready to go. There was a mom there that was like, I'm going to be gone for 2 months. I'm training my mom-in-law who's going to be with the kids, and she broke down crying. She's like, I'm going to leave them for the first time. They're going to be by themselves for 2 months. And she didn't know how to feel about it. Just tears were coming out of her eyes as she's talking about it, because she knows she's already feeling that guilt, like, I'm not going to be there to wake up with them, for example. I'm not going to be there to do routines with them. This is mom guilt. Wives out there who are just like feeling like, oh my gosh, today, I couldn't figure out what the heck we're going to eat in the house. I'm a horrible person. I didn't cook. It's all these little things that they just keep adding up, and they keep adding up. And before you know it, it just takes a toll on you. And so I really loved the lady that was on there, the psychotherapist, who was just like focus on you. One of the audience members was like, she dealt with a lot of rape, she was molested and things like that. And she's like, I want to make an impact. I want to help people. And literally Oprah was like, you have to help yourself first. You cannot help other people if you're not good. Because she's still having trauma from things that happened to her a long time ago. Even though she's like, I've worked on it and I'm good, I'm trying to help other people, you could see that she was literally breaking down because she's not fully healed. So she can't help other people. But this is something that women do. We take on other people's like grievances and things that they're dealing with. We take it on. We are trying to fix it, Oh, your sister calls you, oh, this and this happened with our husband. Your son calls you like, they call you at school like this and this happened. You're trying to fix that. You go here, you go there. You go to work and things are falling apart at work and you are expected to figure it out. And all of this just at one time just takes a toll on you where you feel like you're not breathing. And I was like, I've told myself over the years to learn how to breathe, because I literally was one of those people that I was go running around, and I get so much, it's like I get excited when I had a lot to do, but then in the end I found myself forgetting to breathe. So I have to remind myself, breathe through your nose, blow out through your mouth, take a minute, and I write my little list, and every day I'm like, am I doing something for myself? Every single day on that list, I make sure of this, because you could just easily look, and like one time I was talking to my husband, I'm like, our son is almost 10. Where did the time go? And I was like, have I done something for myself throughout all those years that I've been a mom? I tried in so many ways, but I'm like, now I'm like, I really need to be on that, because having to be apologetic, for not feeling great, for breaking down mentally, perimenopause hits for some of us, and we're dealing with all of that and everything else, Sometimes I'm like, I don't even feel like doing videos because my energy is just not all that great. I'm not excited to be on camera sometimes, and I'm like, okay, that's the time for me to shut it down. I gotta go do something else because I'm not feeling it, I love to dance. Like, I do dancing videos a lot. Some days I don't feel like it because my mood is all over the place. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I realized that I told myself, I have to make time for myself. I have to do things that bring me joy. Things that are outside of my husband or outside, our little family. Like, I have to do that for myself because I'm a better person because of it. And they said that, kids will understand. You do the best that you can to spend time with them. But you also, if you have to work and you have to build your dreams and all that stuff, you have to do it because they see that, hey, at least you went after what you wanted. You didn't settle and say, well, I'm just going to let my dreams go because I became a mom. They learn from you. They see what you're doing. So if you're going out there and like traveling and traveling for work, they understand that, mom has to go and she has to travel and she's trying to do the best for us and things like that. So they learn from you. So if you're putting yourself, forgetting about yourself, and then you become a bitter person, that's what they see. So you have to figure out a balance. And the whole topic just really resonated with me. And that lady crying, really, I understand where she was coming from with having to leave her kids for a little bit. My son recently just got into the after school program, and I'm like, it's time for me to start doing stuff for myself with that time that I have. I have to squeeze in fun there somewhere, and one of the things, I love doing videos, so I try to squeeze more videos in now that he's doing that. It's hard for me because I'm used to having a routine and picking him up at a certain time, but I have to realize that I've been doing that for the past 4 years. He's now almost 10. Like, he's good. They're having fun activities, and I need to let that go. But there was a time when he started the first week, it wasn't easy for me because I'm like, oh, I hope he's okay. Like, I just started finding myself being very emotional about it. The routine is different, but I have to, because if I want to stay and I want to be home, I'm not going to be able to work and just be able to pick him up and cooking and cleaning. I need to make my own money. Even though my husband is supportive and he takes care of us, I have to help him as well. So we have to make sacrifices. We have to figure it out. But I think sometimes the high expectations that we put on ourselves sometimes are too high. And we have to just kind of be like, okay, bring it down a little bit and balance it out. Because you have to ask yourself, your mental health is everything. You don't want to be going and now you need medication to try to balance you out because everything is all over the place. Stress kills people. It kills people. Being multitasking, it's not really multitasking because it's been proven that multitasking, it's actually taking away from something else to do the other thing. You know, so you might be like, oh, I'm doing videos and I'm able to also talk to my kid. That conversation when you're talking to your kid and trying to record a video is not a full conversation. You're not getting the 100% of that conversation. So multitasking is not really there. I learned that years ago and I stopped. I'm like, I'm going to give this this percentage. The other one is probably going down and it's okay. That's a part of life. But I just realized that, especially in certain societies, women are just, well, actually in general, all over the world, women are just placed at a higher, there's certain expectations that are just so high. You know, it's like, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that. And then you start feeling guilty for yourself, thinking that that's what you're supposed to be, when some of this stuff is not even realistic. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, we're all never going to look how we used to look when we were 20. It's like, why are we chasing that, for example? Because somebody told you there's something wrong with aging. You know, somebody was like, I'm trying to fight for the body I had in my 20s. And I'm like, why do you have to? You literally had 4 kids. This is one lady that was, you know, saying, I need to get my body back. You had 4 kids. Your body changed. You know, you might get it right. It might look nicer and better in some ways. But you're not going to get the body you had in your 20s. So why are you trying so hard to do that? Who told you that you have to force yourself and go through all of that, you know? So at the end of the day, guys, like, I'm talking too much. I just wanted to say, yes, we women are burnt out. We are taking on the world every single day. And you're going to take on the world and be a super woman. But one day it's going to be at your expense. Something's got to give. So we have to make an effort every single day to focus on you. Do things for yourself. You know, work on that, because it is so crucial for the long run. Your kids will grow up, for example. Your husband might, you know, find an activity for himself. And now you're looking like, I don't have anything to do. Like, everything was wrapped around these people. It can't be that. You have to figure this out and just do for yourself, you know.